Hi-Fi Guy here for another edition of The Mikey Show. And again, I'm your favorite, black sheep in the audio industry. And that's because I let you know all the secrets and all the BS. Anyways, and what I'm talking about today, this is not really a secret or BS. I'm going to explain a pretty basic principle that many people maybe don't know what it means, okay? And what I'm talking about is balanced audio, okay? You will hear balanced about the balanced connectors, which is a microphone cable. It's a shell with 3 pins in it. And you either have that or you have RCA. It's one of the two, okay, for analog connections used in hi-fi. And in pro audio, they use phono plugs and stuff and speak-ons, but we won't talk about that because this is OCD Hi-Fi Guy, not OCD Pro Audio Guy. So we're going to talk about RCA and XLR. The simplest way to understand it is RCA is a round connector and a connector plugs in with a pin in the middle and an outer ring. So the pin in the middle is for signal, the outer ring is for signal ground, okay? And so it goes in, you've got a signal and a ground. On XLR, it's the microphone cable. You click it into place, it clicks in, it locks, you have a button to press to pull it out. And it has 3 pins. One is signal positive signal or signal positive. One is signal, well, 1 is actually ground. 2 is signal positive. 3 is signal negative, whatever it is. I don't remember the pin out. But one is, just so that you remember, one of those pins is for negative phase signal. 2 is for, the other one is for positive phase of the signal. And then there's a ground. So what that means, what does that mean? Okay, so balanced can be one of 2 things. It can either be balanced, just connectors, or it can be a fully balanced piece. What is another name for fully balanced? Differential, okay, fully differential. If you ask somebody, if you see on the back of their amplifier, for instance, the truly balanced stuff will only have XLRs to put in. You will not see any RCAs on truly balanced gear because you can't feed a balanced amplifier with a single-ended cable. You can't do it. So you'll only see XLRs. Okay. On some pieces of gear, you'll see XLR and RCA, and you may ask them, you know, is this fully differential or not? Is it a balanced circuit or is it just an RCA that converts? Sometimes they can convert. They have to split the phase on the inside on the way in and then split the phase and then go through the balanced circuit, but rarely does that happen. On a circuit board, okay, like inside an amp, you see that green board with all the little stuff on it, right? You're going to have a ground plane that's on there that is like the ground plane, and then you're going to see a signal path that goes all the little resistors and everything. You can follow it like a little highway, and you can follow the signal all the way across that board and where it goes to this resistor and across that resistor, then over to here to that capacitor, through that one, over here through this IC, and you can trace the little highway if you wish. On a balanced PC board, for a balanced, say, amplifier, you're going to have 2 completely identical circuits. So one is for negative phase, one is for positive phase, and then there's the same ground plane that's on there, like the single-ended board, but you've got 2 complete circuits. Why do they do this? Because those 2 are out of phase 100% with one another. Okay, so what does that mean to you? It means that balanced gear is less likely to be noisy. With balanced setup, you have like 0% chance of a hum, okay? Let's just say it's greatly reduced. It's greatly reduced. If you can't, I can't stand hums. If the one thing like makes my mind go cuckoo, it's a hum or noise on the audio system. So I use a balanced rig. My system is XLR all the way through, and all my circuits are differential all the way through. The bottom line is, it's hard to make. Why? You might ask, well, why doesn't everybody just do balanced if it's lower noise and greater output? Well, okay, because it's very hard. It's hard to make 2 identical circuits. Think about it. If you've got a negative phase and you've got a positive phase, okay, on a circuit board going across, and you have all the same components on both sides of that board, you need to perfectly match from the left from the negative to the positive, and from the left to the right, but mainly from the negative to the positive phase. You need to have all those parts, all those resistors need to be perfectly matched from the positive to the negative phase in order for it to work well. So most people just don't do it. They're like, no way. Why would we increase all the areas of problems except for the guys that are really balls to the wall, do differential gear like the Viola Labs that I have sitting here. That is a fully differential amplifier. It's actually a dual mono. It has 2 power supplies, 2 boards that are completely double circuit on each board. So it kills noise. That's why the amp is so powerful and so quiet, is that it's a fully differential design. So when you see gear that has an XLR plug on the back, it does not mean it's balanced, okay? Because a lot of them will have the XLR plug on the back and they'll convert it to single-ended inside the amp. It goes across the circuit board, and on the output, you know, on the amp, you've got the speaker outputs. But if it's, say, it's like a preamp, it can convert back to balanced on the way out of the preamp, but maybe it's a single-ended preamp. So you can have single-ended preamps with XLR in and XLR out, but it's not truly balanced. You know, there's ways to make it work with transformers and how to get it back, but that is like pseudo-balanced, okay? You might see people call it pseudo-balanced. Sometimes they just jump the RCA right over to the XLRs or vice versa to get it on the single-ended part. You'll plug in your XLR and it's only going to take the positive phase and the ground, and it's going to totally just get rid of the negative phase, not even use it to go across the board. So how do I simplify this? I probably left you guys maybe more confused than you were to begin with, unless you understand this. So let me break it down into really simple to understand terms. Okay, so an XLR connector is a balanced connector. You can use XLR balanced connections between 2 pieces of gear that are not balanced pieces of gear. So there's 2 different types of balance. There's balanced connections and there's balanced circuit or differential. Why do you want to know? You might want to know, is this amp just posing as balanced or is it really balanced? Okay, balanced amps are different, man. They're higher falutin, okay? And people can argue this all they want. My choice is for balanced amplifiers. I want a differential amp. Now, if I'm using a single-ended triode vacuum tube amplifier, that can't be balanced, okay? So in that case, I go single-ended because it's a single-ended triode, okay? But in the case of a solid-state amp, I want that to be balanced. I want it to be differential. I like those amps, okay? Jeff Rowland's stuff is differential. Viola Labs is differential. Balanced Audio Technology is differential. You'll find some different amps out there that are fully differential amplifiers, but not all of them that take the XLR inputs are fully balanced, and it makes a difference. So I just wanted to go through what balanced is and let you know the distinction. There's balanced connections and there is balanced circuits, and they're 2 completely different things. So hope that makes sense. Wanted to make you aware of that. Thanks for joining. See ya.